Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on this live discussion in which we will be looking at dangers of you taking antibiotics without consultations and laboratory tests. Antibiotics is actually the most widely used drug in the world because bacteria is actually the most numerous pathogen that we have on the planet Earth. Because of this, we tend to use antibiotics more since it treats bacteria than using antifungi, than using antiparasitic drugs, than using other type of treatment. If you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I really do appreciate. Please just confirm if your sound is okay by you and if the connection is okay as well. So let us begin this discussion in the name of the Almighty, most merciful, most glorious. May the peace of the Almighty be with you. May the peace of the Almighty guide you. May the peace of the Almighty show you the right path to follow. May the peace of the Almighty have mercy upon you and myself and everyone else. Amen. Thank you so much for being here on this vital discussion. You know, we are on holidays and fortunately, many people will be around, but unfortunately, many people would like to go for antibiotics because probably they say they want to do cleansing. And this is also dangerous. You're going to see all of this together. Brother Fonja, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing? So, what are antibiotics, by the way? Antibiotics are drugs used to treat bacterial infections. So these are drugs that are produced purposely to treat bacteria. Excuse me. You know, we have pathogens. That pathogens are actually grouped into different groups, into different sections, which we have bacteria, we have fungi, we have parasites, we have viruses. Under viruses, you have something like the COVID-19 vaccine, COVID-19 virus. We have the HIV virus. We have the hepatitis B virus. Under parasites, we have something like malaria parasite. We have something like Trichomonas vaginalis. That's a parasite. Under fungi, we have your yeast infection. Under fungi, still we still have normal ringworm that you see, that is also fungi. Hey, Sister Christabel, welcome. How are you doing? So under bacteria now, which is what we'll be looking at, we have chlamydia, we have gonorrhea, we have syphilis, and we have many, many more. So among all of these group of pathogens, the most widely in terms of pathogens that will affect us are bacteria. So your bacterial infection, you have more bacterial infection than viral infection, than parasitic infection, than fungal infection. Because of this, we are tempted to consume antibiotics, which are used to treat bacteria more. And because of this as well, when you have a situation, you are thinking more of antibiotic, whereas maybe that situation is caused by an antifungi, is caused by antiparasitic, is caused by something else which is not bacteria. If you're just joining us, welcome, thank you so much. So we are looking at the dangers of you taking antibiotic without consultations and without a laboratory test. And we are also looking at why is it more dangerous if you just go and decide to say you want to cleanse your system and you want to take antibiotics to do that. If you're just joining us, please don't forget to share this live video. Please just share to your other Facebook groups as well. Thank you so much. Taking of antibiotics should be precise. You should know exactly why you are taking this antibiotic, and not only antibiotic, other drugs as well. But today we are looking at antibiotics, which are antibacterial drugs. So before you take a drug, in this place antibiotics, which is antibacterial, make sure you know exactly why you are taking this drug, which particular bacteria you're targeting here. That's the more reason why it is important for you to consult and run your laboratory test. Don't assume that what you have is caused by chlamydia, what you have is caused by gonorrhea, what you have is caused by syphilis, what you have is caused by Trichomonas vaginalis, what you have is caused by fungi, it's caused by yeast. Please always make sure that you consult and you run a laboratory test to confirm exactly what is your problem so that you can tackle it specifically. If you do that, I bet you are going to reverse a lot of issues, which we are going to look here as we proceed. If you're a lady watching, you will bear with me that you may have used this before. That is, going to the pharmacy to say you want something to cleanse, or you hear a friend telling you that I want to cleanse my system. As a lady, you may have heard that. And this is terribly wrong. It is dangerous. It is not advisable. I understand that if you go to probably the clinics, this will be given, drugs will be given for you to take in order maybe to prepare your system. But the truth is, this is not advisable. It is not advisable for you to go and start taking drugs, especially antibiotics, without running any tests, without even knowing what exactly is causing you to have maybe what you have, or without even knowing what you have ahead. It is dangerous. It is not acceptable. We should not do it. Now, why are we saying that this is dangerous? Why are we saying that it is not acceptable? Why are we saying that we shouldn't do it? The very first reason is that antibiotics, which are antibacterial, if you take them and you don't hit the right target, there is that possibility for you to misuse these antibiotics, and you have what is called antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance is actually the ability of your bacteria, of your system, to withstand a specific antibiotic or groups of antibiotics. So if you have been misusing your antibiotic, the very first thing is that you may have a resistance. You will have a resistance such that whenever you have this specific antibiotic to use, it doesn't work for you. And most ladies will agree here that you've had itches, you go to the hospital, tests are done, you took your results, buy your drugs. At the end of the day, what happened? At the end of the day, it doesn't work. You have to go back to the hospital. You're going back to the hospital, another test to be done to check, okay, where did they go wrong? To run you another test, then give you another line of treatment. In many instances, our systems become used to this antibiotic and they create a resistance. They stand to fight because you have made the system becomes too used to a particular antibiotic, whereas it was not even treating an infection. Let's take you going for amoxicillin, going for doxycycline, going for ceftriaxone, that is injection, going for whatsoever antibiotic that you just want to take this antibiotics to cleanse your system. What are you doing to that system? You are creating this resistance we are talking about. So you are creating this resistance, you make the system become used to this amoxicillin, the system become used to this doxycycline, the system become used to whatsoever antibiotic you are taking without even knowing what is wrong. So the system become used to this, and at the end, nothing is treated, and the system now prepares itself the next time you have an infection that system was supposed to handle, that particular drug was supposed to handle. What happened is that it will not handle that situation because the system is already used to that drug which you were misusing. So this is the first danger, antibiotic resistance. Antibiotic resistance is so dangerous. You might not know because you will go to the hospital. Generally, you will not be told that you have antibiotic resistance. You will not be told. But antibiotic resistance alone is bigger than a lot of different diseases because it's going to cause you to have an infection and you cannot treat that infection. You have an infection, you cannot treat that infection. You have an infection, you cannot treat that infection. Why? Because of antibiotic resistance. Why? Because your system has become used to this antibiotic. And once your system becomes used to this antibiotic, it doesn't work for this specific antibiotic, even though you might be suffering from a disease or from an infection that needs to be treated with this specific antibiotics. So misusing this antibiotic may make the system become used to it such that it does no longer respond to this either antibiotic or groups of antibiotic you have been misusing. A lot of ladies go by the end of their month say, I want something to cleanse my system. That is wrong. That is wrong. You don't do it. If you have been doing it, please, you stop it. The best thing for you to do, if you think that your system needs some sort of cleansing, please, the best thing for you to do in order to avoid antibiotic resistance and other dangers of misusing antibiotic is that you rush to the hospital. Do a simple checkup, even an HBS, just a simple HBS. It will do. It is better off you do it, and from there, your healthcare provider will tell you if you have maybe a bacterial infection, if you have maybe a fungal infection, if you have maybe a parasitic infection. And after that, you will be given treatment depending on the specific pathogen you have. If the pathogen is bacteria, you will be treated with bacteria, antibacterial. If the pathogen is fungi, you will be treated with antifungal. If the pathogen is parasitic, you will be treated with antiparasitic, and so on. So please, if you want to avoid antibiotic resistance, make sure you do exactly this and avoid going for antibiotics without running any tests, without doing any consultation, just going because you want to cleanse, just going because you think that if you take it, it's going to wipe away all the pathogens you have. This is wrong. This is not encouraged. This should be stopped. I hope this is clear. The next reason why antibiotic is not good to take it without any consultation and laboratory test. The next reason is that it might display your normal flora. It might cause your normal flora to upset or and even clean it. That is, it might destroy the good bacteria that you have. So the next reason why this is dangerous for you to just go and you say, oh, come on, give me this antibiotic, let me take for cleansing. Oh, come on, I want this. The next reason is that it might cause your normal flora, which is the normal bacteria God has kept there, such that it can protect you God, being the finest biologist, made the system such that a system like the vagina, a system like your gastrointestinal tract, like the stomach, it contains bacteria. It contains some natural pathogens there that they are there. They don't cause harm to the system. They are rather there to protect the system. So if you go and you misuse this antibiotic, what happens to these bacteria is that you remove them. Either this antibiotic go and upset this bacteria and make them not work the way they're supposed to work, or it kills some of them. Remember that most of the antibiotics that you're going to have will be broad spectrum antibiotic, meaning that this antibiotic is antibiotic that can kill a lot of bacteria. So it's antibiotic that can destroy a whole lot of bacteria. And you are taking it without knowing the cause, so you might instead go and erase the good bacteria that you have and upset this good bacteria. And once you upset this good bacteria, what happens is that this bacteria can no longer protect you. This bacteria was put there by the Almighty to protect you. If you rather go and take this antibiotic without any laboratory checkup, any consultation, the truth is that this bacteria, this specific bacteria God has kept there to protect you, might not be there again to protect you because you might wipe it out. Because of this, you could upset the bacteria as well. You upset the normal flora, and this normal flora, for example, if you take institution of the vagina, the cocobacilli, which are the normal flora of the vagina, they are there alongside fungi. The vagina harbors fungi. Fungi is naturally found in the vagina. That's how we should take note. But the issue is that the amount of growth, the amount of fungi you find in the vagina, which is natural, which is normal, is moderate and okay by the system. But if you misuse antibiotic, if you just take it because you think that you need to cleanse, what happens is that you displace your normal flora and make this fungi that was there, this moderate fungi that was there to protect you, you make this fungi to have an overgrowth. And once this fungi have an overgrowth, it means that what? You are now suffering from vaginal candidiasis. You are not suffering from vaginal fungi. Whereas you had the fungi in your system, was not causing you any trouble. It is causing you trouble now because you misuse the antibiotics that you were taking. You were just taking it, and because of this misuse of antibiotic, you display the natural fungi that was in your vagina, and it does not longer protect you. You rather displace it and cause the fungi to multiply. And once this fungi multiply to a quantity which is not acceptable again by your vagina, what happens is that you start having signs and symptoms of an STI. You start having itches, start having discharges, you start having some odor coming out from your vagina. And this odor that you have coming out is as a result of the fact that you misuse this antibiotic and you cause this fungi to multiply in their number. You cause the normal flora, you displace the normal flora, make this fungi to increase in their numbers, and now they have not increased in their numbers. So instead of them protecting you, they are rather causing you harm in your system. This is very important, and as a lady, you should understand this. You should understand that taking antibiotics without any laboratory checkup, without any consultation, is dangerous, it's not acceptable. You should not practice it. You should not encourage someone to practice it because it's not a good practice. I understand this is holiday, and a lot of people will be doing it, and a lot of people will be taking it that they're taking for cleansing. Please, before you take any antibiotic, go and run a simple test. Simple. Go and do a simple checkup. Even with 5,000 can do that, even with 3,000 can do. The simplest of checkup, you can do even 3,000 as a lady. Once you do that, you will be able to take specific antibiotic for a specific bacteria infection. And with that, it's going to save you from antibiotic resistance. It's going to save you from displaying or causing havoc to your own normal flora, which are normal bacteria that actually fight to protect you as an individual. We hope this is loud and clear, and this should be taken very important because antibiotic resistance is a very big issue, and one of the main reasons is because of this misuse, because we take them without any consultation, because we take them without any laboratory checkup, because we think that if we have little issues we should just take antibiotics, because we think that whatsoever thing we might have is caused by bacterial infection, so we should just take antibiotics. If you think something is caused by bacterial infection, please avoid it. Make sure you have done your test and you confirm that this particular infection is a bacterial infection, and this bacterial infection is either syphilis, either chlamydia, is either gonorrhea, is whatsoever STI. And once you can confirm the bacterial infection, then you move on. You take the antibiotic that is necessary to take. So if any person has a question, please go ahead and ask your question. Why, I'm going to link this as well to what we call bacterial vaginosis. So if you misuse antibiotic, it is possible that you might increase your chances of you having bacterial vaginosis, which is bacterial infection of your vagina. And why is it so? Because you displace the normal flora that are supposed to there to protect you, and you cause the bad bacteria to come up and fight, come up and destroy you. So thank you so much for being here. For all those who came here, for all those who have been here, thank you so much. If you have any question, please you go ahead and ask your question. Why, I'll just hold on for some minutes, and if there are no questions, I round up for the day. So if you are just joining, please don't forget to share this discussion. Don't forget to share to your other groups for others to join and enjoy this discussion. Thank you. So if there are no questions, let me just give a roundup that we have been looking at antibiotic resistance. We have been looking at antibiotic in general. Why is it dangerous for you to take it without any medical consultation, any laboratory test? Why is it important not to take antibiotic without any consultation and laboratory test? So there are actually two main reasons, two major reasons why it is dangerous for you to take antibiotic without consultations and without laboratory check. And the very first one is antibiotic resistance. We have said that antibiotic resistance is when your body becomes resistant to a specific or groups of antibiotics. It therefore means that you give an antibiotic, it doesn't work because your system becomes used to or resistant to it. So the very first danger, if you are someone after your period as a lady, you go to take antibiotic for cleansing. If you travel, you say, no, that toilet was not the best, let me go and take something for cleansing. If you have itches, you say, no, let me go and take something for cleansing. If you have discharge, you say, no, let me go and take something for cleansing. If you are going to meet maybe your partner, you say, no, let me take something for cleansing. This is dangerous. This is not acceptable. This is wrong. This causes the very first issue with misuse of antibiotic, which is antibiotic resistance. So if you're a lady doing this, please stop it. The next reason why it is dangerous for you to go for antibiotic without any consultation or laboratory test is that you actually cause your own normal flora and normal bacteria God has placed in specific areas of the body to fight against infection. So they are there to fight infection. So if you misuse antibiotic, take it without any laboratory to know exactly which type of antibiotic you're taking, you may displace this normal flora that are there to protect you. And with this, if let me say something like the vagina, you might also displace the fungi that was there to protect you. So when you displace this fungi, there is fungi in the vagina in a moderate amount. But if you misuse antibiotics, you will cause this fungi to either increase. So this fungi will rather increase in their number, and they will instead cause you more harm than good. So it is important, it is necessary that you should avoid it. So taking antibiotics without any medical consultation and laboratory tests might cause you to displace this normal flora and also displace this fungi and cause this fungi to increase in their number. So it is wrong for you to just go on and say, give me these antibiotics, let me take it. I have some discharges, I have itches. Or it is wrong for you to say you want to do some cleansing, so you need antibiotic. It is wrong for you to say that, oh, come on, I'm traveling, let me take this antibiotic for cleansing. It is wrong for you to say that, oh, it has been 6 months since I took something for cleansing, so let me take this thing for cleansing. It is all wrong. Please, let us try to stop this and do things the right way. So with this, I hope we all pick something from it. Thank you so much. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We are Check Your Health and Maintain Your Wealth. You can as well help us share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Check Your Health and Maintain Your Wealth. May God bless you. Do have a wonderful time. I've been your host, Tima Dauda. Thank you.